What do you think makes the perfect snack?
It's gotta be when I'm really craving it and it's convenient.
Could you be more specific?
When it's cravenient.
Okay.
Like a freshly baked cookie made with real butter, available right now in the street at AM/PM, or a savory breakfast sandwich I can grab in just a second at AM/PM.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Well, yeah, we're talking about what I crave.
Which is anything from AM/PM.
What more could you want?
Stop by AM/PM where the snacks and drinks are perfectly craveable and convenient. That's Cravenience. AM/PM, too much good stuff.
Take me out to left field. Give me a shot of Fireball. Give me some high fives from Mark Pena and a hug from Jeff Cross as we stand on top of the tables. Hearing the horns, that's a blast. For it's 1, 2, 3 shots from the cannon with the ladies of left field.
Hey, y'all. It's game time with the ladies of left field. Jordan is here with Katie, Kasey.
Hey. Hello.
And we have a special guest this week, Kelli Croll.
Yay!
So we are so thankful to Kelli for joining us to hang out and talk sports today. And obviously, it was a huge week in the sports world between the incredible Masters tournament and obviously our Texas baseball team making a splash. But let's start it off with Hot Girl headlines. And I took a little bit of a different angle this week. Just to remind everyone about the NHL playoffs, because our Dallas Stars, or at least my Dallas Stars, are in the NHL playoffs again. The Western Conference, which is what the Stars play in, is set. Winnipeg took the 1 seed. Vegas Golden Knights are the 2 seed. Dallas is the 3 seed. And if the playoffs started today, they would play the Avalanche, who they beat last year in the Western Conference semifinals. So that should be fun. Keep an eye on that this weekend. There's a little bit still in flux in the Eastern Conference, but the Washington Capitals do have the top seed over there. And I will kick it over to Kelli for your first Hot Girl headline.
Hop in my cherry with the Hot Girl headline. I love it. Thanks for having me on now. Well, because we have lots to talk about, I thought it was interesting to bring up this whole Tennessee quarterback NIL situation. That's just kind of in the news. A lot of sports headliners are weighing in. So just to update, Nico Imalava, if I said his name right, sorry if I didn't, was just basically, I mean, I'm sure we could have a whole show on NIL and our varying opinions, or maybe I actually think a lot of us are similar, but you know, he just kind of just went for the real big one and had, you know, did this crazy ask. I think it was like $4 million or something. And, you know, Coach Heupel was just like, no player is bigger than the program. And I just happened to see different tidbits of like Coach Saban has now come out and like fully supported Coach Heupel in Tennessee and that. And I think some other coaches have too weighed in. I found it interesting because I'm in 100% agreement with this. I think it's absurd for a college kid to be getting this amount of money.
It is.
And
it is.
Asking for this. Yeah, thinking that you are bigger than the program. Like, why are you even playing football? Are you?
Yeah. Well, and I also think I completely agree. I think NIL was created for like businesses and like sponsorships through corporations, or to be like, you know, have your image and likeness on a video game or for a car dealership. I mean, it was never really intended for private money to go to private and go to like the individual themselves. And so it's turned into that, which is like, I completely agree. I think it's not necessary. I was okay with like kids being like a sponsor for a video game or a sponsor for a car dealership. I think it's gotten out of control now where it's like, we're just straight up paying players.
Sure.
I think it needs to be regulated, but I don't know how you're going to put that toothpaste back in the bottle.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you start it just like with no stipulations whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. I think that this will spur, I think, a new dynamic in terms of, you know, some teams probably being like, okay, because I agree that they all should follow suit with like, you don't let a player come in there and dictate to you, you know, not in college at least.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, they do it in the NFL, and sometimes we've seen people get, you know,
burned there. Who was that? Wasn't that receiver a few years ago? Was it AJ Brown that was like kind of just, they get way bigger than themselves almost. It's like they aren't, it's a full team. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was very impressed with Tennessee and Josh Heupel for doing what they did. That was the right way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
Agreed.
Great headline. Great headline, Kelly.
Yeah, good one. All right, I'm gonna go. Yeah, and just some background. Yeah, Kelly is a great friend of ours, and she comes to all the sporting stuff with us, football and baseball and all the great things. So we're so happy she's here. All right, I'm here to tell you that our Texas Longhorns baseball team is #1 in the country, y'all.
Hey.
Yeah, we love it.
Bravo.
Yeah, bravo. Is awesome. So we went to Kentucky this past weekend. The Horns looked good on Friday night, 1-6-3. They did lose on Saturday, but in 15 innings. It was wild. We're going to get into this some more later when we pop back around, but we did lose 4-5 again in 15 innings. But on Sunday, man, we came and fought back. I will say this team does have a lot of fight in them, and so it was cool. We won 5-4. We also played on Tuesday night against UT Rio Grande Valley. The brother of our Rylan Galvan plays on that team, so both Galvans were there, and they were adorable as ever. But we won that one very, very easily. Lots of offense, lots of bats. So yeah, looking forward to this weekend and our #1 UT baseball team. There's always a little bit of a thing of like, do you really want to be #1 in April? But I mean, well, why not? Let's just do it.
Yep, might as well. Might as well.
Yeah, might as well. All right,
And I will discuss the Masters. A great Masters.
Great.
Corey McIlroy
What a
won,
weekend.
finally completing the Grand Slam, which he'd been trying to do for, I want to say it's 11 or 12 years.
Like 11 years.
Yeah, he'd been gone for this. And came down to a playoff with Justin Rose, which was really incredible because Justin Rose kind of came back up from ashes on Sunday because he kind of taken himself out of it after Saturday. And then next thing you know, Sunday coming down to the end, there he is. And unfortunately for Justin Rose, that was his third runner-up finish. He's lost in 2 playoffs this year to Rory, and then he lost to Sergio several years back in a playoff, and then he lost to our very own Jordan Spieth in 2015, not in a playoff. But the Masters, I just thought it was a very, very awesome Masters. I think most people were pulling for Rory, and he was the kind of the favorite going in based on the way he'd been playing this season. But also, I think people just really wanted him to get that Grand Slam. He's only the 6th person. Is it 6th person to get a Grand Slam?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's 6 of them.
when that came up, like the names of those people, like that's remarkable.
Yeah. That's remarkable. Well,
And so, anyway, those were kind of the things that, from my standpoint, for the Masters. I don't know if other storylines that y'all want to chime in on.
I don't even know if it's just a storyline, but just like the emotion of watching that last round between already, you started off like it's Bryson and Rory,
yep.
and then Bryson just loses it on like hole 2. So you're like, oh, Rory just got it, no problem. And then all of a sudden Rory loses it, and you're like, where is this going?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
I think
such a
that-
roller coaster, like Sunday. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
It was so fun. And I think, to see Rory's like raw emotion, to hope, that he like pulled it out, and then you thought he had it kind of multiple times, like Jordan is saying, and then to come back and really finish and still get that win was awesome. It was weird to see Bryson like kind of fall apart. That was interesting. Yeah. I don't know. Kelly, I heard you had some good accents that you want to share. The player.
It's funny. Like on Thursday, like at the end of Thursday, I was like, "Oh, Rose is leading. That's pretty cool. Like, good for him." And of course, this goes without saying. I'm always gonna root for Scotty and Jordan, hands down. That's just like no questions asked. But like you see other players that you've grown up with, and like you want to support them. So I was like, okay, cool. And then to see, then he kind of falls off the radar on Saturday, and then for Rory to kind of always be in it. But we were maybe having a few drinks on Sunday as we're watching the Masters, and Rory's just like this cute little Irish mouse that you're like, is he Fievel? Is he like he's reaching for the stars, and he has all these like obstacles in his way, and it's like somewhere out there is the Grand Slam. I will not
You won't give us your Irish
or
accent?
our listeners' ears.
Oh.
And this like cute little Justin Rose, like a little, English rat. And I was like, I mean, rat in this way, but it's kind of like he's just sneaking up, like, I don't know, when am I gonna make it? And I don't know. Anyway, it was a fun battle. It was a fun competition to watch. It was I agree, very emotional. Like to watch Rory just on 13 double bogey, and you're just like, what is happening? Like, and for Justin to come back from Saturday,
Right.
I don't know. It was just it was nutty. Like,
Well, like you saying that, I mentioned just in the future, if if Jordan and Scotty aren't at the top, and Justin is close to the top, he's who I'll be pulling for next. Like we were years ago when we were pulling for Sergio that year. It was
yeah. He seems like a good guy, and I forget that he's like our age. Like I think of him as a little bit older, but he's he's in his 40s. He's due too. He's put in his time.
Yeah. That's like, I felt bad because I was like, man, that's going to be so, like, just with all the buildup going into Sunday. And then if Justin Rose, like, backdoors it, that's going to be so meh. And then, like, by the end of it, I was like, why can't they both win? I thought that the coverage was great. Especially like, when he won, just falling to the ground and you see him like scream and crying I was just like, I was crying. I think I texted y'all. I was tearing up just watching it because it was so good.
Well, they talked a lot about the coverage too. They talked a lot about like how like Nance didn't say a lot. Like he just let the moment happen. And I forget what they said, but it was like he only said like a very few words. And they were like, that was so powerful to just like let that kind of play out and be really, I don't know, purposeful and like limited, in what he said to let people feel that emotion. I know that was like a big storyline as well afterwards, just how that coverage played out.
And I'm genuinely curious. Like, I liked it. It sounds like all of us enjoyed it. I have seen and heard some feedback that people thought he went too long without speaking. And I'm kind of like, what could you say in that moment that's going to be better than potentially hearing whatever Rory is exchanging with all of his friends and family who've been waiting for so long for this? Like, it's obviously everyone has their opinions, but I was like, what is Jim Nance supposed to say here that could be better?
I mean,
what we're hearing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know. I love it. I also love Jim Nance. I think he's like
he's like the best of the best.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was awesome. I love the Masters too. It's just a wonderful thing.
Me too. Yeah.
It was.
Thanks for letting me.
It was great.
Yeah.
Pipe in on golf. I know it's funny, like you grew up like watching golf with your, I watched with my dad, even begrudgingly, of course, wasn't into it as a kid, but Sunday golf was on. Like that was like CBS golf. Like that was what was on TV. So it's fun to follow it, and be fun to do a bracket with the Masters. I think y'all spoke to that in previous episodes, but it'd be fun if we had a big fun bracket. I think
I was gonna bring that up. I think we had good picks, by the way, y'all. I think we dominated that whole scene based on how this thing played out. So that was good.
Yeah, because
y'all crushed it.
Ludwig Aber,
he had a chance at the end too.
He did. Yeah. Didn't he finish third?
I think fifth because he had the worst putts.
Yeah,
on
he missed something.
18.
He missed something late, and it cost him like a lot of money.
But
Yeah, I felt so bad watching that. You're like, oh,
Sam Killer
Jordan had a good Sunday, so he ended up finish. I want to say in the top 20. Which,
I think so. Wasn't he like 12 or 13?
Yeah, I think he was actually, he had a really good Sunday. He had one of the best Sunday rounds, at least in the early day part of it, kind of thing. So just on the golf thing, just real quick, because of Scotty and Jordan, I watched a little thing yesterday on the LHN app, a little, 8-minute little short thing that they did. And it's, they interviewed, they had an interview set up with John Fields asking Jordan and Scotty questions. They were out at the UT Golf Club, kind of reminiscing on their college time and then how they are in the pros. I loved it. Of course, I love it. Anything to watch those two, and it's just fun to see John Fields asking them questions, but them kind of chuckling about how, Scotty graduated. He went to, MBA school, got a finance degree, that whole thing. And then Jordan's kind of making fun of himself, like, well, I was only here a year and a half. But he talked about that he still learned a little bit, and learned how to compartmentalize some and stuff. And it was just, I don't know, it was cute. So just a little plug there for the LHN app for anybody that's never pulled it up and watched some things. They have some pretty decent content on there.
That's awesome. I also golf tidbit. Yes, my mom used to tell me that she knew that she was going to have a daughter that was somehow into sports, where every single Sunday, she would expect most kids to get up and be watching Saturday or Sunday morning cartoons. And she'd walk out to the living room and I would have on golf.
Aw. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
There you go. That was, yes, thanks to my father as well, Kelly. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, should we go around the horns?
Let's do it.
Around the horn.
Hit it.
It's always fun.
There's a lot. Case has a bunch. The other thing that I was kind of dialed in on was softball. With a tough series against Tennessee. And I think it's good, though, maybe get that out of the way now. Because you still have OU on the schedule, but this is probably the first week we've had where we haven't jumped on here and said softball kicked ass and everyone owned it. So,
that pitcher for Tennessee on Saturday, she's one of the tops in the nation, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
And she,
yes, I believe.
She was. I caught the tail end of that game, or the last 3 innings, and she definitely, she was on fire. We just couldn't seem to get anything going against her. So, and then I thought that they, referenced her as an All-American from last year, which would, so, and I know, they were fired up. They were fired up to beat us at our place. So, but I'm like you, Jordan, let's get one of those kind of things happening now.
Exactly.
You kind of
get it out of the way.
Yeah. Kind of regroup.
All right. Kasey, what else you got?
I can jump right back into golf. Our men's golf team won their 5th tournament.
This is wild, y'all. This is hard.
It's
different games.
This is woohoo. Well, it's a bunch. You play against 12 teams. Tournaments have 12 to 17 teams, but they've won 5 tournaments this spring, and they've played 7. So, they are just, it seems almost unreal. I keep trying to go back and find something to verify if this is the best start. I think it's definitely the best season that we've had as far as just your regular season. I can't find anything, on one specific school having won that many tournaments, in a season. But they'll move in the SEC tournament will be next weekend, and then from there goes into regionals. It goes deep into May because you get kind of a week off of
between
things because it's spaced out. And then women's golf is at the SEC championships now, so they are a week ahead of us.
Nice.
Or a week ahead of the men. Excuse me. So I talk like I was still part of men's golf program.
Hey, get close enough, man. I've had enough time.
That was 25 years ago, but hey.
You might as well.
Whatever. Yeah.
Just add it. Add it in.
Right.
And I know, Case, you have something. You also listened to an interview with Chris Sims.
Oh, I did.
That?
I did. I happened to see that Chris Sims interviewed Coach Sark probably a week or so ago. And I liked it. It was really good. I wasn't sure. I came away a lot happier about the fact that apparently Chris Sims still, loves his Longhorns and everything. I've kind of always wondered, I don't feel like I don't see much, interaction with him showing that he's a Longhorn fan.
Yeah.
But he definitely was all into it with Sark. And he asked Sark some really good questions that I thought were, I've heard him talk about it before, but he was talking about wanting to he thinks that, that college coaches, they need to work harder on getting the college schedule, or not schedule, like kind of like, sort of their schedule, especially the off season, timed up more with the NFL.
Oh.
And he talked about the portal being, they have to deal with the portal twice, because you basically have in the fall, when we were preparing for playoffs, the chance for guys to go into the portal, and they are all of a sudden they've been on your team all season, and then all of a sudden they're leaving. And I guess that's similar to being traded, but you don't necessarily do that in NFL at the end of the season. Right? You pick out somebody that won a hurt or something somewhere. But he talked about also that he felt like that we were 50-50 in portal. That's how he kind of grades their staff, of their hit and misses of dealing with the portal. And I found that interesting. He also talked about our culture, and I definitely have heard this before, but I liked hearing it again. He talked about that first year he came in and we were 5-7, and then after the season he got the GPA of the team, and it was pretty low. It was like 2 point something. I mean, it was passing, but it was like, it was below a B average as a team. And then each year, as our record has improved, and we've gotten obviously clearly better on the field, our GPA has gotten better every single year. Now it's above a 3. It's like a 3.2 as a team average. Really? Phenomenal for a football team.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And what was the last thing? I'm trying to remember the very last thing he talked about. It was about talking about our players. Chris Sims bragged on our players at NFL Combine about how they already seem NFL ready, and not just from a playing perspective, but the way they can speak to the media and answer questions and just kind of handle everything that's coming at them. And so that spoke volumes to John Bianco, our head SID, who's been there forever, who Jordan, I know you also know, is the best.
JB is great.
He's the very best in the business. And so that was really cool to get that affirmation from somebody who does NFL broadcasting. I mean, he's part of the Sunday night NFL
show.
Show.
Absolutely.
One of the top shows out there if you watch NFL football. So.
Yeah, for sure. It's also been fun to see Dwayne Akina back on campus with like all of his secondary crew. Like they were like posting pictures, of him.
Oh, yes.
Living his best life. Yeah. And like all of his former, like all of his old school secondary guys are back, and just like they look like they're just having a blast, man. And I just love to see him back.
I can only imagine Dwayne Akina and Michael Huff out there just hamming it up during practice, having the best time.
Sounds awesome.
Totally. It was Huff, and then it was like which Griffin boy? I mean,
Mike. That was Mike.
Yeah.
Griff. God. You know what? That is one thing I miss the most of, not being Longhorn Network, even not doing like Texas Game Day every Saturday. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy being able to go to with the Charlotte, Texas and watch the game at a bar. But just like hanging out with Griff and Fozzie and B-Rob and, everyone else they've had on the show through the years, like just watching them watch a game and dissect a game as it's happening is so cool. So that's like the one thing I'm just hanging out with the whole crew. Like everyone on that show was so great. So that is one thing I miss.
Yeah, I bet. That'd be so fun. But yeah, I like they're having the best time. All right, y'all, any more around the horn?
Let's just dive into baseball.
Well, yeah, like I mentioned, number one, Kentucky played really good, you guys. I feel like they were like fighters and they were super scrappy. They battled really hard. I feel like it's I mean, even though they weren't ranked the highest, I feel like it's like some of the best competition we have had. I want to also remind everybody, we're still without arguably, some of our best players. No Max Blue, A-Rod, so I think that's a deal. But I mean, I think that we're coming together, next man up type of thing. So that's looking good. But yeah, it was a really competitive series.
Well, talking about A-Rod, I mean, they put him at left field, it's kind of like, well, what are you doing? Okay, they're trying to left field. And then last night for him to be at second. So there's definitely, he's showing his versatility, and I also feel like he's showing his willingness, like he's ready to what do you need? How do you need help?
On that note, I just saw on Twitter, I guess Schloss had an availability on Wednesday and said that Ethan Mendoza will be day-to-day for the Auburn series.
Okay.
So Schloss also said he'll probably be available as a hitter before he is available to play in the field.
Yeah.
So,
well, that was very fortunate that when he went down, that he did it. When he came up, he grimaced, and it was like, oh no, please do not be hurt, like long term. But I thought Kentucky, that third baseman, you couldn't get the ball by him. I mean, no, he was phenomenal for Kentucky. I mean, just like snagging balls left and right. But when we lost the one run game on Saturday, I went back and looked, and we have four losses, and basically that LSU loss is the only one that is by a large, 8-2. So that was the 6-run loss there, and then you've got 3 other losses that make up 4 runs. We've had 2 1-run losses, and then the Texas State was 2. So I mean, I feel like, and the 1-run losses both were in extra innings.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that also is like a thing to me. You're like, oh, when the losses you've had are
right. It's not like you want to lose, but if you're gonna lose, at least it wasn't a blowout like you were.
The only game that Friday LSU game was the only game that you just kind of felt like we've lost.
Yeah,
that's that. But all the other games, we
didn't seem in control,
right?
Yes. That at all.
Yes,
But these other ones have been kind of like, man, they've really rallied. And totally. I mean, I just think even though Kentucky's, even though they're not ranked, as like these other SEC teams, I mean, they've been playing better ball. So to go there and do what we did was
well, I think it also might, be forgotten on some people. I mean, they were in the College World Series last year. So it's not like their team of lack of experience, and their coach obviously is, he knows what he's doing. And
I feel bad because I forget his name, but I do like their coach. He seems like a good guy too.
Now I was highly annoyed with the stupid pink fuzzy hat in the dugout, and then there were people wearing it in the stands. This is again my distractions and my annoyances with things. When other people are doing little things in their dugout, that's not funny. Well,
it's fun,
but we also work.
Do we know the story behind the pink hat? I don't know that story. Does anybody know it?
But we saw a few on Sunday when they would scan the crowd. There were a couple people in the stands wearing the same hat. Oh, Lord.
Well, we still won the series. So that's what's really important.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
Yeah.
And this week, we have Auburn. They're on Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday because of the Easter.
Yes.
And Passover was last week. So whatever you celebrate, we're good for. But that's why we're not playing on Sunday.
And this is will be another tough series.
I thought it was because 420 was Sunday.
And there was a bit of a timing change too, right? Friday's game is at 6 and Saturday's at noon now, I believe.
Yeah, they moved them. Yeah.
Okay,
that's fine. That doesn't
and Saturday's game. Corey Knebel will be the tradition honoree before the game. So for anybody that's at the game, it's
very cool
being honored.
That's awesome.
Picture from the 2010-ish 11 timeframe.
Yeah,
he was
young man in that crew.
Yeah,
he was there when I was there because I remember when I was still doing student TV. We talked to Corey a bunch.
Okay.
Super super nice. Seems like a super nice guy. So that's fun.
He was fun to watch on the mound too. That was awesome. Yep.
Yeah.
Auburn is ranked number 8 in the country, you guys. So another big SEC matchup this weekend. So we'll see how it goes. Also, Shelly from the Cheap Seats also sent us info on the Kentucky Fan Explains the fuzzy pink hat.
Hey.
So apparently this started at the College World Series, and there's all, you're right, there's all kinds of little funky traditions that have happened and started for teams. So these very, very pink hats on top of their blue Kentucky shirts. So I don't know, some guys in the dugout started wearing the pink hat. We saw it and kept winning and winning and winning, and everybody in the stand started wearing it. So it's now just part of the Kentucky blue is pink with the pink hat. And then so it comes from the get weird, mantra, like if you're gonna get weird. So yeah, there you go.
Sounds like a dingleberry of Keep Boston with me.
Yeah.
He did it first.
Yeah. So I guess they learned that.
We were trying to force it in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were trying to force themselves into play. You know how it is. Like if you're in a stretch of losing, you try to mix it up. You want to do something. So apparently this is it. After a poor stretch of play, I don't know, apparently a pitcher did it first. Mason Moore got the idea of wearing a pink hat. He debuted it, and then it's just taken over from there. There you go.
All right.
They also their rally cap situation, or whatever they what do you call it? They stack their hats back and forth, and they would create this huge big stack, as opposed to when people turn their hat inside out and backwards, they would just stack them, and they had them back, front, back, all that kind of stuff, and stacked up. So, but I did remember that I did want to comment on this. I heard the announcer on Saturday, one of the announcers on Saturday, who, by the way, I thought was also very funny, that they were commentating the games from their home. So they were watching the same broadcast that we were, but they were sitting at their own homes. They weren't in a press box at the Kentucky Stadium.
And there's a lot of trash talk about that.
Yeah.
With no commentating from your couch. That's not happening.
Yeah, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But the one, I think it was Greg Olson was one of the commentators, and he was a pitcher, and he made this comment about especially when you're going to go into extra innings, but if you're the home team and you're the pitcher and it's tied in the 9th inning, and at the top of the 9th inning, you get everybody out, and he's like, you've basically ensured your team a full 6 outs if needed, because you're the home team. So you're going to, if it's still tied and you don't score, obviously in the 9th, you're going to have the 10th. I never thought of it that way. And it was just an interesting perspective. I was like, oh, I've never actually thought of it that way from a pitcher or a home team's perspective.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Real quick standings update, just because, as every weekend is. But the big news, Arkansas lost 2 this weekend, which is great for us. Lost 2 to Georgia. Makes me feel a little bit better about that matchup near the end of the season.
I know.
Excuse me. So Texas has the solo lead in the SEC right now at 13-2. Arkansas is 12-3. Tennessee is 11-4, and Georgia and LSU are 10-5. Which is crazy that Auburn, we're saying, is number 8 in the country and is not even in the top 5 of the SEC.
The SEC is stacked, y'all. It's wild.
It is.
And also,
Saturday afternoon, once we lost, was all of a sudden the Arkansas lost, Tennessee lost. I was okay, everybody's staying level.
Yeah, I know. It also makes you feel really good about that Georgia, sweep. It's we knew they were good, but then it was damn, it also makes you feel good about our team, which we feel good about, but seeming all very legit, lining up very nicely. Okay, keep it going. All right, y'all, that's baseball. Come out and see us Thursday, Friday, Saturday if you're in town and you want to break from your family. I don't know, or you can bring your family with that too. We hybrid
on Saturday doing. I think on Saturday, aren't they doing a fan something on Kamal?
They are.
Oh, the block party
Yeah.
thing?
They're giving some kind of up there.
Yeah, so Bevo will be out there Saturday morning. It's a family affair or not.
Yeah.
Either way, left field, always fun.
Always fun. All right.
Play-in game starts tonight, Wednesday night. So whenever you're listening to this, it'll have already happened. The Mavericks are playing the Sacramento Kings, and you have to. So I want to say there are two play-in games with each division, Eastern and Western Conference or conference, and so then after those are determined, they play down. Then they get matched up with the number 1 seed later on. I'm not sure who the Rockets are playing. The Rockets aren't in the play-in; they're already in the actual playoffs. But the Celtics and the Thunder are the favorites the overall favorites for the NBA playoffs. So as it goes down, I did notice. I didn't know. I saw that Kai Jones, who used to play for Texas several years back, he's on the Mavericks now.
Oh,
He joined the Mavericks in mid-March. So I'll be watching tonight out of curiosity. So.
I'm glad you brought up NBA though, because I remember last week we were trying to figure out when Luka's return was.
Yes.
Did everybody watch that?
I did. I watched it.
I did. It just
Very emotional.
so sad. And then of course Luka went off. It was great from that.
Yeah, he looked amazing. He totally was a big F off to the Mavs. With that. Did y'all hear that? I heard that also the Mavs owner or somebody also did a thing where it was he talked to everybody about and he was like, I don't regret it. I don't want Luka here. And totally was just kind of defending his.
He did a surprise presser too, which is not what you're supposed to do. It was you couldn't record it or film it. And he doubled down on his my responsibility is to the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, but the Mavericks are the fans, and you pretty much just gave a big F you to all the fans. So
yes,
they can't fire Nico in the game.
It's so many. And there's a great video of Mark Cuban just head down, shaking his head, looking so dejected during the fire meeting.
Luka got a standing ovation from the fans. I mean, they stayed. When the game was over, they stayed and were cheering him as he was getting to hug and high five people, the Mavericks, the players and support staff, people that he knew. I mean, and so it was very emotional, and the fans were all for him. They were totally for him. At one point when he got fouled, or they called a foul on him, and then you could hear the stands booing. The fans were all no, it was so it was awesome. I mean, I was still back and forth cheering because I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan. I'm not a LeBron James fan at all. So,
Not the biggest.
I'm only rooting for Luka on the Lakers. But
yeah,
it was great though. It's just to see his emotion. Apparently, he still has his house there. I mean, he just bought a house, so.
Yeah,
that was house hunting when he found out he was traded. He was or he was out of his house or something. That's when they dropped.
He did in the post game interview. He was like, "I'm glad I get to sleep in my own bed tonight." And I was like,
"Yeah,
that's so sad."
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I just got this random text about. Do you guys know our good our friend old school Mario? Kasey, you know what I'm talking about? Mario, a Longhorn fan, good guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Maybe, yeah.
I can't think of his last name, but I love him. But I just got a text that he's throwing out the first pitch at the Horn softball game tomorrow.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
I know.
That's awesome.
And maybe I'm trying to think of what connection that is, or maybe he's just for being a good fan. I don't know. That's so interesting. He does do football, but he also does baseball. He's been around for forever. He used to come around a lot, and now he doesn't come around as much. He's super good dressed, really well dressed, good. He's such a good guy. I mean, he knows yeah. Anyways, just got that random text. That's interesting. So that'd be fun.
Shelly's a big fan.
Yeah.
Anything exciting in the other professional sports world? I don't know. MLB. What else we got?
Oh! I have a fun MLB story.
I know. I want you to tell this, Case. I love this. It's our tiny bit of a social I don't know.
Yes. So Bryce Harper did a gender reveal at a baseball game. So he and his wife are expecting, I believe it's their 4th child. And so he had one of his teammates, Trey Turner, have a pink bat or a blue bat. And like when he was getting up to bat for his first at bat of the game, whatever bat he got, whichever color, that was going to be revealed to him if you become a boy or a girl. And then in the dugout, his teammates, they were getting around. They kept playing around with the pink bat. So then he started thinking, oh, it's the pink bat. And then all of a sudden, they're right when he got the bat, they handed him the blue bat. So he's a baby boy. Oh, that was pretty cool.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome. That's so cute.
That's cute.
yeah.
All right. That's all we got. Hey,
Yeah. I got nothing else.
good sports, ladies. All right. Well, last
Top
thing. If
notch.
anybody
Fun.
loves, yeah, I'm glad you came, Cal. And if anybody loves us so much they want to sponsor us, then hit us up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I've got the koozie that we're selling in left field that you can contact Mark Pena about and it's the proceeds go to NIL, but it says hashtag left field or LF, and then it says come along for the ride, and it has Rigger's mustache. And so it's very popular.
It's
So,
everybody
yes.
mustache now. I mean,
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Well, that's key to victory.
I think Max Grubbs is like killing it with his mustache. So,
But yeah, hit up Mark. All the proceeds are going to Texas One Fund, which is the NIL collective for Texas athletics, which you can check out online if you wanted to contribute also.
yeah.
Yep.
All right, friends. Always love it. Good times. Catch y'all later.
Thanks, guys.
Good times.
Hook 'em Cassie in left field.
Yeah.
Hook 'em.
See y'all in left field.
In left field.